one of the reasons I value friendship so much is because my whole life I grew up an only child. When I was 15, my dad had a daughter, had another kid with his wife. They're still they're married now, and they're great. I still say they're just my sisters.
Yeah.
I don't say they're my half sisters.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm 15 years older than one of them, who's in college now, which is so crazy. and I'm 20 years older than my youngest sister.
Okay.
So I'm old enough technically to be both of their dads if I had them young, you know.
Yeah.
So, but point being, technically, and I had step siblings, but they were only at the house every other weekend and shit.
I had step
So
siblings.
I am an only child. I am technically an only child. Like, I'm all my mom's got.
Yeah.
And that's why she thinks that I can do no wrong, you know?
Yeah. I was always so jealous of that because I remember growing up, like being friends with like only kids, like
Taylor's an only child.
Like stuff like that where I would always hear that kind of thing of, I wish I had this. I kind of, it's almost like that having somebody, this is going to sound bad, but have somebody believe in you so much that they're like, that's how I always thought of it. Like you would just get, like they'd say, I want to learn guitar. And they'd go, here's a guitar. Whereas I'd be like, I'd have to wait for Christmas or birthday.
Because of the siblings.
And hope that that was
what you got
in the cards, essentially.
Right.
So it wasn't even like, we didn't have the luxury of having, of being able to be believed in. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Because there's three of you.
And plus step siblings. Plus then we had also like some so I had a lot of half brothers or step brothers or something like that. A step parent that never got married.
What's the total?
So it's me and my two older brothers. We're from my mom and my dad. Then they split later on. My dad later on came out as gay.
Oh no shit!
And they never. And my mom.
Is he still? Your dad's still alive?
He's passed away. Yeah,
okay,
I'm sorry. He killed himself when I was 9. So
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. Rough. No, it was definitely for sure rough, but it was one of those things that like it kind of got me. That's when I think I started using humor as a defense mechanism.
Absolutely.
And shit like that.
Yeah.
But like. Then we had my mom's boyfriend, who he had kids from a previous marriage. I think 3.
Now, did you grow up with him?
Yeah.
And is he still married to your mom?
He passed away a couple years ago.
Oh, God damn it! I'm sorry.
Don't worry about that one. That one I'm not sad about.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No offense. Hey, but you know,
I
made that very clear when he was alive.
My first stepdad was a piece of shit.
When they say like don't speak ill of the dead, like if you're doing it while they're alive too, I think you can do it when they're dead.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I literally just told you I hated my stepdad.
Right. Yeah. It's one of those things. So, you know.
My stepdad so it was such a love-hate relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that got me into motocross. Okay, let me rephrase that. I was already obsessed with motocross and dirt bikes.
Okay, yeah.
Before I got one when I was 12.
Yeah.
But I will give him his flowers on. He is the reason that he talked to my mom into finally getting me my first bike.
Right, you got to give them wins when they.
That
when
was
they
the
have
old
broken clock is right twice a day.
So that and then the music stuff.
Right.
Is
that jamming
sort of,
thing is very. Even if you did end up in arguments and stuff, that is immensely valuable.
Well, also he was the first time I ever got arrested was because I kicked his ass.
That's got to be satisfying.
Well, and I didn't even really kick his ass. I punched him twice.
Well, there's a thing.
But we both went to jail is the problem.
Right.
And it was so funny. The cops come. And the cops arrest him immediately, and he got like, get your asshole out of my face.
Yeah, come on, brother.
He immediately tried to like stiffen up and he was a little guy. I was bigger than him, or taller.
Same with my stepdad.
So he was probably 5'6", short little fucker, but he was stout. Like he was like a stout dude, and he actually knew how to he was like kind of a badass, really technically.
And how old were you when you ended up fighting?
I was 18.
Okay,
and I was it was when I tried to go to college. Like I was like trying to do school. Not for me.
Yeah.
I hated it. Hated every minute of it.
Like college, you mean, or?
College. Like, this was after high school. I tried to go to college.
Community or?
Yep, community college. It was called, it was Northwest Arkansas Community College in Bentonville, Arkansas, which is home of the Walmart. And
how did you, how long did it take you before you were like, fuck this?
A semester.
Okay, yeah.
I dropped out.
I did the same.
I dropped out before that semester was even over.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started doing a lot of drugs too.
Yeah.
But anyways, he pushed my mom. Like they got into a physical altercation. I'll never forget this. I was taking a shit. I didn't even wipe my ass. I heard him push her, and I heard it all. Ran in the living room or in the kitchen. It was an apartment like this, and the kitchen is attached to the living room. and my mom gets in between us. She's crying, and I just swung and punched him in the face.
Damn. Did you connect like perfect?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I clicked him right in the chin.
How good did that feel?
It felt amazing. And then he tackled me and held me down. He weighed a lot more. I only weighed $130.
18-year-old kid. Yeah.
I weighed about $130.
Yeah,
I wasn't like I hadn't gained any of this weight.
Thick. Yeah.
No, I was like tiny. I was really skinny. And he just like held me down, and I'm just screaming, "Fuck you!" Fuck you.
Of course, classic.
Neighbors call the cops.
Yeah.
Cops come, immediately arrest him.
Of course.
And then they come in and they ask me what happened, and I tell them everything I just told you. Because I swung first, they arrested me.
But technically, if I may, I know this is however long ago. This was like what, 10 years?
Over 10 years.
10 years ago,
or
whatever.
Shit. I was 18 and I'm 34 now.
So yeah, way old. So even after all that, I would say technically your dad threw the first
Stepdad.
Sorry, excuse me. You're right. Stepdad technically threw the first blow on your mother.
Exactly. Yeah. So he got charged. He got charged with assault because my mom was like, no, he pushed me.
Yeah.
So he got charged with that plus assaulting me.
Yeah.
But the kicker was because I was 18 and admitted to swinging first, I got charged with domestic assault too.
Yeah.
Now, we end up going to the same jail.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, if you beat up your dad, technically that's domestic.
It's domestic assault.
Holy shit, that's
so. But it's a misdemeanor.
Oh, sorry,
it's not a felony.
You're like in handcuffs, going, "Stepdad."
Oh yeah. I was like, it's not my dad.
Stepdad.
It's not my fucking dad.
That stranger hit my mother.
Yeah. So, dude. So the guy that arrested me goes, "Hey, man.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I'm really sorry that I'm doing this. I have to, but just so you know, we're gonna make sure you're okay.
Okay.
And we're gonna get you out of here as fast as we can. Here's the fucking deal. It was a Friday, so I can't get out till Monday.
At least, earliest.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't go to court.
Yeah.
And they won't. And I don't remember why. I think because it was domestic assault, my mom wasn't allowed to bail me out for 48 hours.
Oh yeah, because you have to have that like timeout kind of thing.
I'm not really sure.
A lot of states. I learned that. I think I watched when I was watching the Gabby Petito.
I need to watch
documentary.
that still, yeah.
It was like the cops in that. I feel like the cops they got a lot of shit. Like the state troopers that pulled them over and like they explained the domestic thing. They said you guys should let's not have contact for 24 hours. Like just spend
I
the
saw
night
a
away
clip of that
and just be. And I was like, that's actually really responsible to be like, why don't we just sit it out for the weekend?
Let's let some steam blow off.
Nobody sees each other, and we just all just have a breather. Maybe no charges or anything, but we'll just sit it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got 3 hots in a cot for 2 days.
Yeah. And it was my first time in jail.
Exactly, yeah.
So
that's got to be scary. At 18.
Well, dude, so it's kind of funny. So I get to jail.
Yeah.
And, of course, he's in there.
Which is the craziest thing.
Well, wait, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on. So, you know the booking area?
Yeah.
Or have you ever been to jail?
I've been to jails.
So they have a booking area
that's
where you all there's these, they call them drunk tanks.
Yeah.
And that's where they keep you. But then there is an area in most jails called the booking area where if you're behaving, they'll let you chill in that area. So you're in like a room.
Yeah.
And then there's the desk where you do the fingerprints.
Oh, so you're not even in like a...
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So he's in there too, but he's in a cell.
Okay.
I'm getting to hang out in the booking area. He's separate from me, right? So they go, all right, you got a shower and we're going to give you some clothes. So I go and I'm taking a shower. I realize they didn't give me a towel. So all I have is the jail clothes and no towel.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. And I'm nervous. I'm scared. I'm
Obviously,
18, 130 pounds.
Yeah.
I have my glasses. I'm wearing glasses. I look like Harry Potter.
Oh, my God.
Like no beard, no facial hair.
Yeah.
No muscles, nothing.
Yeah.
So
and if I may, I'm not putting you on blast. Probably been crying a little bit.
No.
Really?
No, I was just pissed.
Even when you were beating up your stepdad, it wasn't like
No, I was mad.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big crier.
Hey, me
which
neither.
probably isn't good. I'm probably a little broken.
I cry. It'll come out, by the way.
You know what makes me cry?
How old you said you're 34?
I'm 34. Yeah.
Yeah, give it a couple years. I'm 38 right now, and I cried earlier because I saw a video of these people rehabbing a dog they found in the park.
I was about to say I
gonna
cry
come out in
over.
weird
I
places.
cry. I'll tear up on Instagram with little puppies and sad animal stuff.
No. The video. Oh shit.
I'm like Tony Soprano.
This is
like I'll kill someone and not bat an eye, but if a dog gets hurt,
brother, this is so much worse. I don't know what this was. This is a new lane. Usually it is animals, but today I was watching a video of this of a wife that I'm keeping an eye on it. Just
okay, cool.
Of a wife that surprised her husband, who loves Costco, surprised him with by inviting all of his friends to Costco, and then having a birthday party for him in the food court.
Oh, okay. The Costco has a food court?
As he's walking through, it's by the way, a very famous food court where that you can get a foot-long hot dog for $1.50 still.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it is a killer hot dog.
Nice.
And fucking the pizza's pretty sick as well, chicken bake. Check out you ever heard of the Boom guys?
So
the Costco guys, essentially.
Is this the same? Is this the Riz guy, the kid?
Yeah, that's in that same family.
I know about it.
Yeah.
I'm not big on that type of stuff.
But they rate the food and like everybody.
Okay, and they go boom.
Yeah, and now everybody remembers like, holy shit, Costco's got sick ass food. So like, he's walking through the Costco, and as he's like, oh my gosh, you're here too? That's crazy. And like he's just like, he's so giddy, and he's like, I love Costco. And it's like having my birthday. And then at the end of it, they're all at the food court, and they're like saying him happy birthday. And at that point, I was just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, right.
Like, so I'm just saying, it's gonna come out in weird spots.
Well, so that is true. I also get a little teary-eyed for like veterans coming home and their dogs being stoked.
Surprising animals or kids at school.
I prefer the kids don't.
I feel bad for the kid, by the way.
I get more teared up about the animal stuff.
So the kid, I feel bad for the kid because that that level of embarrassment of being in public and essentially not having a towel and kind of going like this, where they're in class and they're just sitting there and like the whole school's like, oh, he's right behind you, and as soon as they turn around, they go. Yeah, and it's just like, oh, he's crying in front of the whole school. Yeah, and they hug them, and I'm just like,
breathe.
Oh my god, you can't do that to a kid in fucking school.
Yeah,
I get it. It's beautiful for the internet, but still, if I'm in the comments, I might be gay.
Dude, I remember the first movie I cried.
But crying's cool. I think men should cry.
I remember the first movie that made me cry.
What is it?
Hardball, when G-Baby died.
Oh man. Oh, isn't that the Keanu Reeves one?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah.
When G-Baby gets shot and they do the funeral and shit, dude, that got me.
Yeah.
Because I was around that same age.
I don't know if it was, I can't remember, but I think it might have been in class. So like in school, we had, grew up in Florida, downtown.
Right.
St. Pete is where I went to middle and high school.
What's the nearest city to St. Pete?
Tampa.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's like 45 minutes from Tampa.
Strip club central.
Exactly. Yeah.
Apparently they have like the best strip clubs.
Right on Dale Mabry. You can go to 2001. You can go to Mons Venus. You can go to the rest of them.
Nice.
But those are the two. Okay. But there's I would go to on the south side of St. Pete, which is my school would be shut down for riots every once in a while. Like we wouldn't be able to go to school. We'd have riot days.
Big graduating class. How many did you graduate with?
I dropped out when I was 16. I was.
You got your GED?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Almost immediately.
The old good enough diploma.
Essentially, yeah. Where I was just like, wait, I just knew the equivalent of what you need to be an adult in Florida this whole time.
My whole band.
Yeah.
Soul Stripped.
Yeah.
They all dropped out around 15, 16 and just got their GEDs and started working.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Exactly. Essentially, I've been working full time since I was like 16.
Right. I got my first job when I was 14.
Okay.
Or, no. I've worked ever since I can remember for just for cash.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was 15, my mom let me get my hardship license.
Okay, yeah.
You know about the hardship?
Yeah.
It means you can drive before you're 16 alone if you're working. And I got this job working in the shop of there used to be you can look this up. It was called Extreme Machine.
Extreme Machine?
Yeah, they were a pit bike company based in my hometown, and they it was these Chinese dirt bikes that were all manufactured out of China, brought to Russellville, Arkansas. Extreme Motor Company. Look up Extreme Motor Company.
Okay, yeah.
And I got my first job sweeping the shop there and changing oil and building these dirt bikes. And
Extreme Motor.
Yeah, that's got to be it right there.
This one?
Probably. Actually, nope. It's that one with the X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Extreme.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah.
This.
So they're not around anymore.
Might be it.
Check that one out.
The Instagram.
They're not a thing anymore. They went out of business. But that was my first actual job. That's not it.
Yeah.
But anyway, it must be scrubbed. I mean, they went out of business long ago. But because I was
14.
But they gave me my first job at 14. And
Were
I
you
would
working
sweep
on
the
bike?
shop.
Oh, sweeping shop.
Yep,
okay.
swept the shop. Would put oil in the new bikes. I would put the new bikes together.
So you were driving back and forth to work since you were 14.
Sorry, 15.
15. Okay.
15,
okay.
and then going to high and I was in high school.
Yeah.
So I was able to drive to and from school and go to work. But also, when you're 15, you go, I got a vehicle. I'm also going to go get some puss.
Brother,
Not that I was getting pussy at 15.
But that's the thing. It's like that's your mindset. But then like it's almost. I think I was talking to you guys about. I don't know if you heard the story.
Wait, hold on.
Sorry.
Guess how much I was making? This is funny.
At the shop?
Yeah.
I
was making minimum wage,
Okay.
and this was 2005 or 6. Guess what minimum wage was? Because it's what I was making.
$3.75.
$5.15.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. Well, for a 15-year-old kid.
At the time, I was bringing it was like $102 a week. I was bringing in.
But right when you get that 102, you're like, oh shit. Because also gas is still under $1 probably.
Gas was probably $1. I want to say $1.07 or something.
So yeah, you're
That
living
was back
life.
when you could put $10 in your tank.
Yeah.
And drive for the weekend.
Yeah. I would do a thing where I had a really bad habit when I started working. The first major job I had was at a assisted living facility, a high-end assisted living facility in Seminole, Florida. And I would drive to this place that was it was like $1,500 a month, essentially a nursing home that was like classy as fuck. Right. So I worked in the kitchen there, and I remember I like getting that paycheck and just blowing it by Saturday at night. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Oh, yeah. And then I got so good at it.
Because you're not paying rent.
Well, it's
money for you to blow.
And I got to the point where I started planning my overdrafts. So I would do this thing where you know how you get a draft every time you overdraft, it's a $35 charge. Every time you pull out after a certain time. I learned that lesson where the next check just covered those fees essentially.
Yeah.
So the next time I did it, I was like, well, I got to plan this out. So I was like, after the weekend, and I'd be like, I got $175 left in the bank. I'd go, all right,
which is a lot.
It's good
when you're not paying rent,
but not for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'd be like, well, I want to party next week, so that's going to be about this much. Blah, 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 blah. And I would just pull out that one big chunk and only get the one $35 charge.
There you go.
That's controlling your own destiny,
right there,
bro. I thought I figured something out.
Yeah, you were like, and technically you're not.
I have legitimately tried to transfer a negative balance to my savings account to try to avoid the fee.
And did that work?
No.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't work that way. That's like getting an abortion at the first birthday party. It's just
yeah. So back to the funny part about that whole jail thing.
Right.
Before I forget.
You're towelless. You got the clothes.
So I don't have a towel. I just put these clothes on wet. And you know how shitty it is to put wet clothes. So I don't know if you've never been in jail. So the material that their clothes are made out of, it's not denim, but it's a very cardboardy, thick. You're not ripping that shirt.
Is it like a work shirt almost, like that material?
Yeah, it's like a
shitty dicky shirt.
It ain't like a t-shirt.
Right.
It is like a shitty dicky shirt.
Like where it's all stiff at first. Yeah.
There is no stretch.
Fuck those.
If you have a large shirt and you put it on, that is gonna be fucking tight.
It doesn't.
On you.
Yeah.
It does not stretch.
You fit into it.
So that's why a lot of people in jail, they get the XLs.
Yeah.
They get one size bigger because they think it's gay if you get a shirt that's tight.
If your clothes that fit.
They think that if it's tight on you, you get called gay.
Yeah.
That's like a thing I learned later because I've been in jail a bunch.
Couple stints.
And I learned that later. Yeah, I went to jail for 3 months once, and that was my longest time.
Oh shit.
But anyways, so I'm in there, and I'm just soaking wet.
Yeah.
I put these clothes on. No one's talking to me. No one's telling me anything. And I'm thinking I'm gonna get out.
Like officers or
no one. Everyone's. I might as well be
like,
invisible.
where do I go now?
Literally.
Yeah.
So I noticed that they took my stepdad at the time. They took him away. He goes away, right? So then they go, all right, get your here's your mattress. They give you a mattress, a towel. After I needed it, and you also get underwear from them. They give you a pair of white boxers, right?
Really?
And
that's interesting.
So
do you have to you give them all your stuff? Obviously,
yeah. They take your stuff and they put it in a bag.
Yeah.
So now, I will find this out over the course of the next 2 days that this jail I'm in, it was Benton County jail in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, it's the worst jail in the state, worst county jail. With there's no TVs.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to sleep past a certain time. You have to just sit in the they call it the day room. They call it the day room.
Yeah.
And you have to sit in the day room.
Like Gen Pop.
And you're not. Yep.
Yep.
And you're not allowed to go to your bunk unless you're getting something. There is no sleeping in. They wake you up and you have to just sit at these tables or walk around in circles. There's no TV. There's nothing. You can read books, play cards, or talk.
Yeah.
That's all you
So
got.
you can play cards.
So, dude.
But you have to be, like, you're 18 again. You're not going to be like, guys, you want to play
No, I'm scared. I'm scared as shit at the time.
Can we play rummy?
They open the door, which when you're in jail, the lights are always on.
Yeah.
You don't get darkness. So people sleep with towels over their eyes to just block out that light.
Yeah, yeah.
I get in there, and the first thing I hear, and I'm like, oh,
that's
no.
That's not what you want to hear. Is a little.
I'm like,
guy.
oh no. So I just like kind of walk in, and I see a bunk open, which it's always a top bunk because the people that are on the bottom have been there for a while. Because you want the bottom because you have the storage underneath.
Ah.
And if you're on the top bunk, you only have to put your stuff. There's only room to put it behind your head. So I'm in there, man. And so this was a Friday night. Saturday morning, they wake you up at 5 a.m., you eat breakfast, and they let you go back to bed till 7. And then they get you up again, and you have to just sit there. So Saturday rolls by, right? Yeah. Sunday is laundry day. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll take another shower.
Yeah.
So I go to the shower to take a shower. I pull my boxers off. And by the way, it's concrete.
Yeah, that goes up to here,
slabs,
right? Yeah.
And in rows.
Yeah.
Right? It's
like a locker room kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you're in high school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's not an open room. It's like, and then the toilets, there's no doors.
Yeah.
So you're just shitting and people can see you.
Yeah.
So
fuck that, man.
So
well,
dude,
at least, but you don't have bathrooms in your cells. Like it's not a prison.
No, this is a giant.
Okay,
it's like it's GA. It's like GA.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's like it's literally
you're in the pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it's just rows and rows of beds, and then the day room, and then there's the bathroom.
It's like
no stalls.
It's like 60 days in, like the shit you say on 60.
It's exactly like that.
So that's how you're telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, I've never been to jail, but
that's
I know
what
exactly
it is.
What you're talking about.
And then huge ceilings. There's also an upstairs like this. Someone could get thrown off or kill themselves. It's just like Oz.
And like,
except for it's not prison.
Are people allowed to smoke or not?
No.
At this point, I didn't. Well, I don't know.
No.
Some places.
And then you get an hour of
TV
outdoor
room
time.
Oh,
No TV.
Okay.
This one had no TV.
Okay, yeah.
But you get an hour a day of. They take you outside.
Yeah.
But it's just a massive. Open courtyard with no ceiling.
Yeah.
That you're in.
And if the sun's not over it, then you're not getting any sunlight.
No.
Yeah.
No, you're basically inside still.
God damn.
So, anyways, I pull my boxers off. There's shit all in my boxers because remember I didn't wipe.
Oh no!
And then the shower.
Because
I never had a towel.
Yeah.
So I just had shitty fucking underwear. Dude, it looked like I shit my pants.
Damn.
And so I just put that in the laundry bag and just didn't say anything.
Yeah, brother. I would say also not only that, but like that's a good deterrent to make sure that you're not, nobody's whistling at you anymore.
Yeah. He's got a shitty ass.
A little bit of a change of topic in this sense, but do you have any belief do you have any superstitions, whether it be like day to day or like performing or anything? Even in music or anything?
Let me think about like stand up.
Like, do you have any?
I always take a shot of Jameson before I go on stage for the most part.
Yeah.
If it's like at a bar.
And is it Jameson or is it a shot of like?
Whiskey? I prefer Jameson, but I'll do whatever.
Okay, so it's not like if it's not Jameson, you don't feel right. Like,
no, it doesn't
are you
have
religious?
to be.
Are you religious or anything? Do you believe in ghosts or anything?
No, I'm a big believer in aliens.
Okay.
Big time believer in aliens because I've had some crazy experiences. I've seen UFOs.
Okay.
Like 3 times.
Like back, like throughout your life, or just like recently? Or?
Throughout life. I haven't seen one recently.
You would do a lot of. So if you're out in the boonies or anything like that, you're probably out like doing a lot of country. Forest parties or
like growing up, we would have field parties. Yeah, where
like
you just light a big hay bale on fire.
And there's no light pollution, so you're seeing you got a great view of the sky.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Yeah, all of the alien experiences I've had, except for, so I had one experience in Arkansas, in my hometown, where I actually physically saw the UFO, like up close, right above the tree line. Go right by us.
Damn.
And then
did you hear anything? Was there?
It was completely silent.
Okay. Yeah.
No wind.
And
nothing.
And this was like when you were younger.
I was 18.
So drones were not as prevalent.
There was no drones.
If they were just completely secretive.
Yeah, this was not. There was no propellers. This
right.
was not. This was a physical.
You didn't hear the zzz.
There was nothing.
Yeah.
This was just and I'll never forget the way it looked, it was a material that I had never seen before. And there was no propellers. It slowed down and floated right above the sky or the tree line above us. And we watched it just go by, and everything's silent. And I looked at my buddy, and I'm like, you saw that too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, yeah, what the fuck? And as soon as it disappeared, within like a minute, we just start hearing, oh, and then like hoo, hoo, hoo. And then all of a sudden, dude, like 12 cats come out of the woods, and there's just cats, and then you hear dogs barking. Animals are just going nuts, dude.
Whoa.
It was crazy.
I have a weird theory where, like, in a sense that paranormal and stuff like that, whether it be ghosts, whether it be Bigfoot, whether it be cryptids, alien, it's all aliens.
Yeah.
So, like, in some point or another, because you always see, whether it's like I watch a ton of like the ghost like countdown shows on YouTube.
See, I'm not big into the ghost stuff.
But I think there's a weird thing with like where it's like kind of like a parallel universe type of deal, right?
Yeah,
so,
I
like,
could get into that.
Any of these things are just essentially either it's like if you see a shadow figure in your house, it's actually just an alien using a cloaking device.
Right.
You know
I
like,
like the theory that
kind of rooted in some bit of practicality.
I like the theory that some aliens, maybe not all, are us, but in the future.
Right. Yeah.
And they're time traveling.
This is a theory. So as far as haunting goes, this is my official theory, and it's something that I even like. I would love to turn this into a script someday, but essentially, when you go to sleep, right, and you have a dream, you are actually traveling to another parallel universe.
Yep.
And when you're in that universe, that's why it feels kind of familiar, but it doesn't look the same, and it's always weird, and you're either doing residual things or that's just the reality of that. And when you're in that, you're not completely in that reality. So to them, you appear as a shadow figure.
Yeah. And they're sort of being like, what the fuck?
You're haunting their dimension.
Right.
So to you, it's just a dream. You're just going like, what a weird dream. I woke up and kind of was like Mr. Smith's class, but I didn't recognize any of the people, and I was completely naked, and they couldn't hear me, but I was standing right in front of them.
So that might be what
they see in that haunting, or they can, when they slightly hear something, you're not completely into that dimension yet because you're only kind of touching it and whatever. And when you come out, you basically the same idea where you're freaking them out, but to you it's just a weird like thing that because you can't really explain dreams necessarily.
So are you a big dreamer? Do you dream?
Not so much since I started writing with that pen, you know.
So I dream daily.
Okay.
Like I'm a big. Do
you keep like a journal or anything?
No, because I remember them all.
Okay.
So I have one. This one still sticks with me. About a year, 2 Christmases ago, I was on my way back from Arkansas, and I was driving alone. It was just me and Bill, and I didn't have any like Adderall or anything on
Bill
me.
Hicks, by the way.
Everybody. Yeah, Bill Hicks is my dog.
Oh.
And
I wasn't gonna mention the dog part. I just wanted to tell him.
It was me and Bill Hicks.
Technically,
he was in
Bill
a dream. He was just with me.
This isn't part of the dream.
But,
yeah, sorry. You were in the car with Bill.
So I end up. So I didn't have any Adderall or anything, and I'm real bad. And I'm driving through the night, and I just wanted to get home so fucking bad. It's like a 10-hour drive from my hometown. I ended up having to pull over and take multiple naps.
Okay.
So I finally get about 5 hours from Austin, and I just keep drinking. I drank probably 9 Nosses. You know those energy drinks?
Yeah.
I get home, and thankfully I had bought a bottle of vodka on the way before the liquor stores closed.
Yeah.
Because I knew when I got home I was gonna need to.
You need some
to fucking pass out.
Yeah.
So I get home. I've drank 9 Nosses. Get home. I smoke a shit ton of weed. I drink like half this bottle of vodka. Finally enough that I can like lay down and not be like jittery.
You're not
and
you're not like self-medicating. You're self-redlining.
I'm trying to like fucking make myself pass out, dude. So I fucking have this dream, dude.
Yeah.
That was to this day, it's one of the most realistic dreams I've ever had. So I go to bed, and in the dream, so here's what happened. All of a sudden, my bed's gone, but I'm in my room. Couldn't have felt more real. I was in my room, but the bed was gone.
Okay.
And I'm sitting on the floor, like crisscross applesauce, like Indian style, you know, or Native American style. Sorry.
First Nationer style.
Yeah. And indigenous style.
Yeah.
And so
we honor you.
And I'm sitting there, and there's 2 people talking to me with a weird woman in the back of my room, standing there like just sort of watching us.
Yeah.
So one of the guys is this redhead, and he doesn't look familiar at all. And he's like, so how are things going?
He's talking to you.
Talking to me
Okay,
directly,
yeah, yeah.
and it couldn't have been. It was like me looking at you
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. He's like, so how are things going? How's your uncle been? And I'm like, what? Because me and my uncle are exactly 10 years apart.
Right, right.
And we like look alike.
And you do not know this person whatsoever.
No, but it felt as real as me and you talking right now.
In the dream, like even though you didn't recognize him, like here,
It felt comfortable. I didn't feel scared.
Okay, in the dream, you weren't like, "Who the fuck are you?" Why
No.
are you asking about you? You're like, "Oh, well, my uncle's pretty." Like you were.
Yeah, he goes, "How's your uncle doing?" I saw him the other day.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, he's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's fine." He's like, "Well, I just want to tell you I'm sorry about your grandpa, because my grandpa had died a couple years earlier."
Uh-huh.
He's like, "I just want you to know he's doing okay. He's fine." And I was like, "Cool." And nothing is scary.
Yeah. At no point are you like, "Oh," it's like you're just sitting around a kitchen
It
table.
felt like I
catching
was
up.
someone that I knew.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "Oh, well, that's great, man. Cool." And then I shit you not, he goes, "Well, do you want to go to the next level?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, we just have to go through the..."
Cracks open another nos.
He literally, yeah. He's like, "We just have to go through the vortex."
He opens a Four Loko. He goes, "Are you ready for the next
This
level?"
one's got alcohol in it. This one's really the move. And dude, he opens my closet door. This is my room. Pulls the clothes apart and goes, "Come on, it's this way." And before he steps in, the woman that was behind me
That was just watching.
grabs me by the shoulder and goes, "You're not ready."
Yo.
And he went into the closet, disappeared, and I woke up.
Did you almost kill yourself in Nas's weed and vodka?
Dude, I don't know.
Is that what like it was?
It was nuts.
Was that was that death? Were you redhead? Was he the devil?
Maybe, dude.
No, you wouldn't go to hell, right?
But I mean, dude, when he said, "Do
You're a
you want to
good
go
guy.
to the next level?" It's this way. And he goes, "It's through the vortex."
That's a Nas demon, dude.
And I'm like, "What?" "Oh yeah, because Nos is orange."
Yeah, you got a Nas demon, bro.
dude.
That's what happened.
But the lady goes, "He's not ready." And
Who's
then,
the lady? Do you know the lady?
No, she had black hair.
You saw her too, and you.
She kind of looked like what's that chick that died at 20? She's in the 27 Club.
Amy Winehouse.
She looked like Amy Winehouse.
I know exactly. We speak that. We are me and you, brother.
Yeah.
So so to me, that's paranormal. I would say that's paranormal because
so vivid.
So I had a thing two different times, and this is why. So I'm starting an arm of this podcast, much like I did earlier with the music part when we were talking about that. There's going to be a whole nother hour long plus probably podcast I'm adding to the family of Hey, but it's going to be Hey Postmortem, and I'm going to be doing essentially because to me, the thing that speaks most to the existence of aliens, ghosts, paranormal universe or parallel universes, all that other shit is personal experiences. You can't deny that. That happened to you.
Right.
You've had a million dreams since then. I've had plenty of ones where I like, oh yeah. I've had dreams. I don't even cheat on my wife in my dreams. Like if me and a lady are getting too personal,
I have a lot of sex dreams.
Yeah, I don't have any. I'm like, I really just kind of shut that down.
I also just stopped watching porn about a month ago. So I think maybe that's ramping it up.
Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
So, but it's a weird thing. So I have a thing where I've had two different experiences dream wise where I don't know any other way to explain it. One of them was when I was really young, and I shared a room with my two older brothers. Right, we had bunk beds, and my other older brother would sleep on the other
Where'd
side.
you
of the room.
jerk off?
I was like 6. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
It was pre-jerks. Yeah, I was like 6, 7 probably. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I don't know where they did. Like for them, we eventually split up and we got our own rooms and
Yeah.
we got our own long showers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But we would go. So one night, just out of nowhere, it would get really hot in our house. We had one wall banger.
This is in Tampa.
Yeah, in St. Pete, essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
same
right.
area. But we would have one air conditioner, one wall banger.
Oh, window unit.
in the living room, right?
Yeah.
And
that's
there'd
how
be-
they do it in Boston.
And then there'd be like a snaking hallway, and our room was here. My mom's room was here, right? So I'm sleeping, and in the middle of the
Sweating.
night, at no point, yeah, exactly. But I used to wake up and I used to like go sleep on the floor because it would be colder,
Yeah.
or I would go to like the like living room, like to the door frame, and kind of like lay there because the
I
air
hear
would,
ya.
you know. So I woke up in the middle of the night and I was in my room. Like I woke up and I was in like physically in my room, but I couldn't hear anything except for what sounded like a very panicked, very loud, chaotic ER. Maybe an
emergency room?
Emergency room, maybe even like a surgical unit, because it sounds like they're working on somebody frantically.
Okay.
And it's
beep, beep,
very
beep.
panicked. Yeah, beeping, people rushing around, shouting out orders, all this other stuff.
Scalpel.
Yeah, all that shit. Like where they're just like it's like a triage unit.
Right.
But everybody's sleeping. I'm looking at people and I'm like, how are they not awake? And I cover my ears and I could still hear it full volume. It was in my head. That's all I could hear. And I'm just like looking around and I'm like I'm awake.
Yeah,
I'm awake, but all I can hear. So the only thing.
But wait, were you awake? Or?
I was 100% awake.
You're hearing all this.
I'm
stuff.
hearing.
Not seeing anything.
I'm essentially having an auditory hallucination.
Okay.
Is what I would say now. But at the time, at like 5 or 6, I'm panicked because I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you don't have a frame of reference for that.
I can't hear myself. I don't think anybody can hear me. Like I can't wake my brother up or anything like that. I'm not trying. I'm just panicking because I don't know what's happening. And eventually I curl up on a ball, cover my ears, which doesn't help at all, and I pass out. And
wow.
And nobody questioned it or anything like that, because when I woke up, that's something I normally do.
Everything was normal.
But I had this crazy experience that to this day is so vivid in my head that I remember every bit of it.
Right.
But I don't remember. Like, it's crazy. That and
you know what's crazy? It's like you were saying about the tapping into other dimensions.
Yeah.
Maybe you tapped into some sort of dimension where someone that you know, or even you, were even in the future, were being operated on.
Yeah.
Or a friend or a family member.
And like nobody had passed away, as far as I know. Like around that time, there wasn't.
You
like
might have saw into the future,
right? Well, my dad ended up later on passing away. That might have been something. It might have been, could have even been around that time. I don't think so, but there's also a case where years and years later, I had already met my wife. This was probably 2007 through 10, like 9 or 10 probably.
Yeah.
My best friend from like middle school and elementary school. His name was also Patrick, one of the only children that I was friends with.
Okay.
Had passed away.
Oh.
He got into a car accident, or he was hit by like a Walmart truck.
How old was he?
He's like my age. So at that time, probably 20.
An adult. He was an adult.
23, 20, something like that. He had a kid, but he was also, with all due respect to him and his family, kind of a scumbag. He was not a great dad, as far as I know. Like he wasn't a great like son. He was kind of a spoiled brat all over, and just kind of turned that into being a weird guy who would sell lizards online from Florida. Okay. He's like literally like
he's like Joe Exotic.
He's crazy. Yeah, always walking around in a wife beater. Like he's just like literal.
People that are, by the way, people that are really into reptiles and shit, you're fucking weird.
That breed them, that are like, I'm gonna start.
I met a bird guy the other day in San Antonio. Who was like, he raised macaws and parrots.
Yeah.
Big time bird guy.
Yeah.
Do you know about this? Parrots live to be like 45.
Sometimes, they can grow like hundreds.
This one was massive, dude. It was cool. It like set on me.
Not hundreds, maybe like 100-something years, I think.
Turtles go over 100.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Turtles and like tortoises.
Tortoises, yeah.
Tortoises live to be like 300.
But he was dealing in like snakes and like lizards.
Yeah,
and
I don't
shit.
like that.
So like, and
those guys did he have piercings?
No, but he was big into ICP. Loved ICP.
He was a juggalo.
He was like, and one of the bad ones, I would say. Like, again, all due respect to him.
Stereotype.
Very much every stereotype of almost like Florida man / ICP guy.
Of course.
He passed away, and there was always something in the back of my head that was like, I wonder. I wouldn't put it past him to fake his death just to get out of the response, like all of this, and just kind of not like very exotically.
I don't think that someone like that would be smart enough to do that.
I for some reason, maybe I was just protecting myself, or we weren't really close later on in age, but
yeah.
I still went to his funerals, very sparsely attended, unfortunately. It was just kind of sad. But I was always like, maybe he's like out there. I don't know.
It wasn't an open casket?
No. And I had this dream where I was driving to visit my wife. In the dream, I was driving through her neighborhood. This was before we lived together. And I was going to go pick her up at her house. And as I'm driving down the street, I stop at the stop sign. And I would turn right, and she'd be on the corner right here. But I look here, and I see him parked in this driveway getting out of his car. And I go, son of a bitch, I knew it.
I knew he was alive.
I pulled around, I parked up behind him, I got out, and I go, I thought you were dead. And he goes, I am. And I woke up.
Wow.
And I was just like, and now it's like, oh shit, Like, first of all, that it kind of gives me that, like, at least subconsciously somewhere I have my own best interest in mind, or maybe he is alive in another universe, but like,
Right,
he's like,
right,
no,
right.
you were right. Like, I'm not there anymore. I'm here now, or something like that. I'm here. I'm over here now.
I am walking.
Hey, walking on the fucking afterlife over here.
Dude, that's funny you say that too, because like I was saying about, so I often, about once every couple months, have dreams where I get to hug my grandpa.
I had that once with mushrooms. I haven't had the I haven't had the dream necessarily, and it was my mom. But do you
Wait, is your mom dead too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I know that was a weird thing. That I took like a fistful of mushrooms on Christmas one year. This was still back in PA, and I remember like just laying in bed with the blankets over my head. It was Christmas Day too, so maybe that's what it was. And I remember hugging and like feeling it. Do you feel it in the dream? Is it like
it's as real as me looking at you right now?
Are you good at? Do you have the ability to lucid dream whatsoever?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
I can jump really high and stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I have a ton of dreams. I do a lot of lucid dreaming, and I love it because I can also know when it's a dream, and you have fun in there.
Yeah.
And I can fly in my dreams. I can jump super high, and I glide. I call it like gliding. I jump like a movie, and I just soar over the world,
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I do that often.
So do you? If you
I think
don't
it's
mind,
because I'm a little crazy.
do you ever take requests?
What do you mean?
If I may, next time you lucid dream, would you mind asking to see the manager?
Just try to say can
Find
I
out
see
what
the
happens.
manager? Yeah.
Just go
I'd like to talk to the big man.
to the heavens. Can I talk to the manager?
Well, so you know what's crazy is
That's kind of suicide.
Most of my crazy dreams, I don't talk in them.
Ah.
A lot
your
of
lucid ones.
A lot of my lucid ones, I don't talk.
There's something about that with the same thing that I feel people experience with sleep paralysis.
It's a lot of telepathy.
Yeah. I was there with you.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that was almost like what my early dream is like a type of sleep paralysis, because that's what people.
Now that I hate.
You have that?
I've had it a couple times. I had it a lot after I had back surgery. I was on a lot of pain meds, which you can look this up. Pain meds cause a lot of sleep paralysis and wild dreaming because of the it's a narco, right? So I remember after back surgery having dreams where I didn't know I was sleeping. I was watching TV I was recovering at my mom's house after back surgery, high as fuck on morphine and all kinds of shit. And
yeah, let's see. Irregular sleep schedule, stress and mental health, underlying medical conditions, medications.
Yeah, okay. So I was on a lot of morphine and Percocets and everything you could think of. I was on it. This is when I was 19, and I was in my room at my mom's house watching TV. The light's on. It's 3 p.m. But I'm so high, I just sort of passed out, right? But I never closed my eyes.
Oh.
In what happened, and I'll never forget. I had this intense. Something was holding me down, and I just remember I'm crying, and all of a sudden I just went. And it was like my eyes were never closed, and I could move, and I was crying,
bro.
And I that's didn't, and that's when I was like, all right, let's maybe not take as much Oxycontin.
Yeah, that's the thing. So you didn't have any auditory, or you didn't have any audio hallucinations. You didn't have any kind of you didn't see a sleep paralysis demon or anything.
So I've had the shadow people hold me down once.
Damn.
And that was when also pain pills were involved.
Okay.
I had took some hydrocodone.
At least you know that. That's what I'm saying. At least you know if I'm going to take pills.
In the dream. So I was not dreaming. But I was staying at my aunt's house at the time, and I'll never forget. This shadow figure crawled out from the corner, went up on the ceiling, and then came down and just held me down.
Fuck that, man.
And I remember that was the only.
Did you cry that time?
That
so
one
you do cry.
Me out.
You do cry.
Only in my dreams. But I should probably get going.
All right. I appreciate you stopping by and doing this for the
I wish
podcast.
I could have I want to do this again.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. You're more than welcome to come back because I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
Yeah, I want to do it again when I don't have to. I've got a job.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. Well, I want to make sure that you have the so funny how many beers you've crushed. You're like, I've got to be responsible, guys.
Oh wait, yeah, actually no, I just have to go. I'm not going
right now. It's like
I'm not going to. It's like way later.
A couple hours from now. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah. But I appreciate you being here, man. If you want to tell people where they can find you, where they follow you.
Yeah, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Mason Smith Comedian. Oh, I'll look at the camera. It's Mason Smith Comedian on Instagram, and also if you enjoyed my dumb stories, you can check me out. Go to YouTube. It's the High Noon Podcast, and also check out Drooling Banjos on YouTube as well. And Spotify.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Which actually Pat's the Drooling Banjo's new producer. So.
I was brought on recently through Smokestack, and
we've been having a lot of fun.
I'm feeling like family already, but yeah. I appreciate it. I won't keep you here any much longer, so I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thank you for having me, dude.
Fuck yeah, brother.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, guys.
Hey.